Have you ever, even once in your life, suffered an injustice and stood by waiting for justice to be served? Did you believe that someone would come to deliver what was rightfully yours, or that the universe or the system would reward you? If your answer is yes, you have unknowingly taken refuge in the greatest weakness of your life, because this world was not designed to be fair. Human history is built upon the bones of the weak, who sought justice at the negotiating table, only to be erased from the battlefield.
The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche stripped the dark mask off this emotion, which people naively cling to as a sacred virtue, with a single sentence: "Justice is the illusion invented by the weak to restrain the strong." According to Nietzsche, demanding to be treated fairly is not a fight for rights. It is merely a way for those who failed to build their own power to mask their helplessness. The strong do not need justice because they create their own reality.
To witness the most ruthless execution of this cold truth in history, we must go back to the mid-19th century, to a fragmented and humiliated Europe. Before you stands Prussia, humiliated at diplomacy tables, used like a toy by its neighbours. And one man who would change Prussia's destiny. A man who believed not in illusions, but strictly in raw power. Otto von Bismarck.
In 1850, Prussia sat at the table against the Austrian Empire. Bismarck was merely a diplomat at the time, watching his nation get humiliated at the table, turned into a vassal under the banner of justice and alliance. While Prussian politicians whimpered, "This isn't fair," Bismarck stood in the corner, recording the cold truth with a silent smile. Those who whimper at the table are those without power on the field.
Years passed, and in 1862, the King of Prussia, in desperation, appointed Bismarck as Prime Minister. The Berlin Parliament was packed with liberal politicians. These men talked for days, obstructing the army's growth and rejecting the budget under the guise of law, human rights, and constitutional justice. To them, the world was governed by noble speeches and righteousness.
Bismarck took the podium. There was not a single trace of emotion on his face. He looked at the idealist politicians in the room and uttered the words that altered the course of history. The great questions of the time will not be resolved by speeches and majority decisions. That was the great mistake of the past. They will be decided by blood and iron.
Do you know what Bismarck did? He didn't dissolve Parliament, nor did he argue with them. He simply ignored them. He set the Constitution aside, collected taxes illegally, and took control of the military. While politicians shouting for justice cried, "You are violating the law," Bismarck merely smiled. He had long understood that law and justice are nothing more than footnotes written by the strong.
For 16 whole years, Bismarck waited for his revenge. He didn't complain, he didn't demand justice from others, nor did he rely on the international community. Knowing he was weak, he quietly retreated, transforming Prussia step by step into a massive iron war machine. He knew that taking action before building power was suicide.
When the year 1866 arrived, Bismarck stood against Austria, the very empire that had humiliated his nation 16 years earlier at the table. On the field of Königgrätz, he wiped the Austrian army out in just 7 weeks. Those who sought alliance and justice at the table were forced to bow before blood and iron on the battlefield.
Bismarck united the fragmented German principalities under a single flag and forged the modern German Empire. France and England, who who had tried to lecture Prussia on justice until that day, fell silent when confronted by Europe's greatest military giant. Power had spoken, not the law.
This system, engineered by Bismarck, was called Realpolitik, pure, unadulterated realism. This philosophy held a single rule: morality, justice, and emotions are illusions in politics and life. Only results and the balance of power are real. Feeling that you are in the right changes nothing in the real world.
Now stop and look at your own life. Whenever someone wrongs you, whenever you fail to receive the value you deserve, do you immediately retreat into the role of a victim? Do you comfort yourself by saying, "I was right, this isn't fair"? That is the most dangerous lullaby the weak mind sings to itself.
Society taught you from childhood that if you are fair, you will win. But the real world does not work that way. People do not respect you because you are good. They respect you when you become indispensable, or when you attain power that can harm them. Expecting justice is handing the reins over to someone else.
Be like Bismarck's Prussia. When you face an injustice, do not scream, do not argue, and do not waste your energy trying to defend yourself. Complaining is a sign of weakness. Instead, quietly fall back, fix your flaws, and return to the table with a power that leaves no room for debate.
Nietzsche was right. Expecting justice is like expecting a predator not to eat you, simply because you didn't attack it. No system, no human being on earth owes you anything. Rights are not given. Rights are taken, with blood and iron, with discipline and power.
You have two choices for the rest of your life. You can either sit in your corner, crying over the injustices done to you, complaining about how cruel life is, or you can throw away that childish expectation of justice and build your own power.
If you have no power, your principles won't be discussed at the table. Only your name on the menu will be. Rather than becoming prey at the table, Bismarck chose to be the man who built the table, because he knew that victory belongs not to those who are right, but to those who are determined and ruthless.
Be honest with yourself. How many things in your life today that you think are unfair are actually just the result of you not being strong enough, disciplined enough, or ruthless enough?
Now tell me honestly in the comments, what is the one area in your life where you whimpered, "This isn't fair," but in reality, you were just too lazy to build your own power?